Death is an inevitable part of life. We are all going to lose people that we love at some point during our lives. What people seldom talk about is what a person experiences after losing a loved one. In this documentary, I will be interviewing 4 people who have all lost a family member, and these people are willing to share their personal experiences in order to help you gain a better insight of the grieving process and how each person experiences grief differently. What was your loved one like? It was your cousin that we're talking about.
It was my cousin, yeah. He was really, really funny, really excitable, always wanted to make people laugh.
No, he was like life of the party, if you know what I mean. He was like centre character that everyone associated with. Nah, he was just generally really nice.
My favourite thing about him, he always used to make me laugh. He had such a good sense of humour and he was always happy, and he just used to make me giggle. You know, some of the things we used to get up to, and yeah, that's mainly it. I miss his sense of humour, and just he was always so happy. Yeah, we used to do everything together near enough, and even to some point that people used to think we were girlfriend and boyfriend. So no, it's my brother, because we was always together. So yeah, that was nice.
Funny, stupid, quite kind. He sometimes could be moody, but then most men can. And he loved me.
Always happy, which
Yeah.
is, it always seemed like that, and he really loved his family. Wasn't shy about hugging you or giving you a little kiss, stuff like that. He was really just lovely.
Nice person.
Yeah, like he used to do really selfless things, like helping out the homeless and like donating to charity and stuff like that. It was just lovely person.
Really nice guy. Yeah. Do you have like a specific happy memory of your loved one, like your favourite memory?
Probably. I remember building dens when we were younger, and so we'd pretend to be survival, a bit like Bear Grylls I suppose, and we'd build dens in my nan's house, and we'd camp out and someone would be out on watch and stuff like that. It was so fun.
Oh, would you pretend to nap and then like,
Yeah.
I'll take first watch?
Yeah. And I remember also we'd watch Robin Hood a lot as well. That was probably the other sort of nice memory, but yeah. Probably the best memory. And we actually we built dens, but actually we went out to the woods and we pretended to make fire and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we went on a little houseboat, like Rosie and Jimbo, and we stopped off at a little port, and we all dived off the back of the boat, and yeah, it was just like a day where he taught me how to skim rocks. It was sort of like a classic English little holiday. Yeah, it was like best memory.
One year, me and my brother, and I think one of my sisters was with us, and he decided, we didn't know that he had gone under the water, and he then pulled me under, and I now have a really big fear of being pulled underwater.
Because of him.
But it was funny, but not funny, if that's even remotely, I don't know. But yeah, and I used to like going to the pub with him, and he couldn't drink though, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good fun most of the time.
What happened to him?
He had a massive heart attack.
Oh.
He used to work at Manston Airport, offloading all the cargo planes onto lorries, and so the stuff was then distributed. But he had a funny turn, which was a mini stroke, and then he came home and he collapsed, and that was it. End of, game over.
Just
No
like
warning, nothing. Because at the time I was so angry, because the day before he passed away, he was downstairs with my mum and my uncle and aunt, and they were all laughing and joking. I had a really bad headache. So I went to bed. Didn't think nothing of it. Got up the next day and I still had the headache. Dad had already gone to work, and I remember saying to Mum, God, my head still hurts. And I'd never had a pain like it before. And then about 10 o'clock at work, I worked at Townbrooks then, and I remember saying to my boss, I'm going home in a minute, I can't stand this pain in my head. And at 11:15, I had a man come up to me saying, Sue, you've got to go home. He said, I'll give you a lift. And I was like, why have I got to go home? And I knew. But Dad did used to say he would never make old bones, because when he was in the Navy, he got TB and meningitis together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was airlifted off of his ship onto like a helicopter, I suppose, taken to Chatham Dockyard, and he was there for ages and ages. And then they then transferred him to sea bathing. No. And he was always on drugs to thin his blood, because he used to get like clots, I suppose, seizures. Yeah. So I suppose we knew in a way, but didn't expect it to be that soon.
He had a relationship with a girl who was very young, and he got her pregnant at 13. He was only, at this point, he must have been about 18. And he got her pregnant and they had a baby, and he was fine, he was working, he was doing all the things he should be doing. And then that split up and he just went the wrong way. He never was a drinker. That was Robin, he was the drinker. But he did like to dabble with speed, and he used to take a lot of speed. Unbeknown to us, the speed had progressed into other things, and it moved to heroin, which we didn't know anything about. And he was found the day before his birthday by his son, who was 14, laying on the kitchen floor with a needle in his arm and the gas ring still on, and he was dead. He hadn't even put his shopping away, so he must have gone out, got some stuff, done some shopping, and done the first thing he did when he got in, and that's where he was found by his son. And it hurt so much because we were so close, and he went a bit weird prior to him dying, very paranoid, thinking people were after him. And I remember speaking to him the day before he died, and in those days we didn't have mobile phones. Well, they were just coming onto the scene, and I called him from a public phone box to speak to him about something. I can't remember, because it was his birthday the next day and I wanted to see him, and he started ranting and raving about the bloke downstairs, watching him, being paranoid. And I was like, you know, you're imagining it, Jeffrey, you're imagining it, you know, it's just the drugs that you're taking. And he was like, you don't believe me, I don't want to speak to you ever again. And he hung the phone up on me. And that was the last time I spoke to him.
It was horrible. You kind of don't believe it, I think, especially because it was the way that it was. It shouldn't have happened, that's the thing. It wasn't like visibly ill or anything like that. It was very unexpected and very sad. You just sort of go to your family, don't you? And for me that made it a bit worse, I think, going and being with my family. Everyone else would be really sad, and it just makes you even more sad. I remember just when I was with them, I'd just be crying all the time, whereas when I take myself away from that, I'm fine. I thought I was okay, but because I'd called in sick a few times before that, people just ask, and more people ask, and you have to keep repeating yourself, and you just get more and more worked up, because it's like, I don't even know if it's sunk in properly then, because I know it was a while that we kept all saying, oh, it feels like he's going to come out and be like, oh, I'm joking, you know. Yeah.
It didn't feel real?
No, not at all, not for a long time. It was very, very sad. That's all I can describe it, is just sad.
It was really bad, and I did sort of, I sort of flipped a little bit. I'm not going to lie, I hit the bottle big time with but luckily I had a really good circle of friends that helped me, or no, they kept an eye on me. I should say. They were really good friends. But even now, some things, it triggers it off, and I can sit there and I'll just cry. Because I just think it's not fair that I didn't...
Oh yeah, well, I sort of just shut it away for a good month, maybe coming up to 2 months. But then, yeah, obviously time sort of heals everything, really, doesn't it? So after some time, I can cope with it, but definitely I sort of deal with the grief in silence in a weird way. I don't know why.
Do you feel like it's a thing that men are more likely to do than women?
Oh yeah. Men definitely hold things down. They don't express emotion as much as they should. A male should be a lot more stronger than a woman, but they're not. As you know what I mean, as emotionally it's still just as devastating if you was a man or you know what I mean, a woman and you lose a sibling. Yeah, they're meant to not show emotion, but you know what I mean, not show it in front of everyone, but it's definitely something that needed to be dealt with, yeah.
And do you think that's wrong?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a wrong way of dealing with it, society, but after them 2 months of dealing with it in quiet, I remember breaking down at school with 2 of my best friends, and they both showed me so much support, and everyone did. It was, yeah, it's, once actually you come out with it, it was fine. It really was, it was, yeah, a lot of support there.
What would you say to him now if he was sat here?
I would say that I don't think he realised how loved he was, and I don't think he realised how supported he would have been if he'd have just come to us. And I mean, I know that he's lived with us for a few months, and my parents would have loved to have him come and stay with us if he was unhappy where he was, and just tell him that we do love him and we do miss him and we wish it had never happened, and we'd have helped him through whatever it was that he needed help with.
Why? Why? You had so much to live for. You had so much going for you. You was such a nice bloke. And it's such a shame. Goddamn shame. And I miss him so much.
If I could talk to him again, I don't know how much everything's changed, I suppose, and I don't know how much I love him and how much that he's missed. He's missed by everyone. In a brother way, he'd probably tell me to keep an eye on my dad and keep an eye on the family, make sure everyone's good.
I love him, miss him.
Yeah.
Loads. And I wish that he could have met my children and my grandchildren. They'd have been a wicked granddad. You know, he only saw one of his grandchildren. Didn't meet all of the others. He would have loved it. Absolutely loved it. So he was always taking in waifs and strays with the neighbourhood kids.
I still see things or think of things, you know, memories from my childhood, and think, or I hear something or see something and I think, I must tell Jeffrey, and then I think, I can't, but it does get better. You do learn to live with it, but you never forget them and you never miss them, you know, you never stop missing them. And life goes on, doesn't it? So you just got to carry on going and just think of all the memories that you had and the happy times and cherish them and try to move on. But I do believe there's an afterlife, and I do believe he's up there, and I do believe he's watching me, and that makes me stronger. I'm not deeply religious or anything like that, but I do believe that he is there and he's watching over me. And I think he always will.
Definitely to just show what you feel. Like, there's no reason to hold back for no reason at all. No one thinks any less of you because of it. It's just something that you just you feel it and you should show it, and that's the only way you're going to get help or support from people that love you. You just got to just show what you feel.
Well, what I realised was that everyone deals with it differently. Like, honestly, everyone, some people go to their families and some people want to spend all their time with their family and talk about it. And that was good. We enjoyed talking about it, thinking of all the funny, happy things that have happened with him in our lives. I would have so many stories, and we'd look through loads of photographs and really talk about it. But then for me, I had to also take a step back, and because I'd get too upset for too long. And so for me, I worked a lot. I saw my friends more. It's not good to be on your own.
Yeah.
All my family would always check up on me and say, make sure that you are talking to someone, because sometimes it's hard to turn to your family and talk to them about it because they're going through the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to talk to other people about it that can't really, I suppose they can help you in a way, but it's not really to help you, it's just to get it off your chest. And yeah, I just think have time for yourself as well as make sure that you talk to everyone else and talk to your family, and don't shut yourself out, because that just makes it worse.
Yeah.
And it'll just be a longer healing process if you do that. Yeah, I mean, we're lucky because there is so many of us in our family that love and care for each other. So that makes it a lot easier, because we just all give each other a hug whenever we need it.
It does. It's easier now. I mean, if you'd have asked me these questions, I don't know, 15 years ago, I couldn't have sat here and spoke to you about him. You know, and it's only recent. I think it's about when we moved in this house, I have actually put pictures of my dad around the house, whereas I've never had pictures before that time because I couldn't.
Were you too upset before?
Yeah. I know that I'm the eldest of 4, but everyone used to say I was my dad's princess, and yeah, I was. I was really close to my dad, so it hit me really hard. And because it was so, he weren't ill. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't the night before. He was laughing and joking. Give it time. Take each day. Everybody grieves differently. Me and my brothers and sisters, we all did it differently, and we still do. You know. So just take it each day at a time. Don't rush anything. There's nothing else you can do, because you can't undo what's happened. Take it as it comes.
With personal insight of how each person has experienced the loss of a loved one, we now know that although the loss is heartbreakingly painful, it truly does get easier to deal with over time. If you or anyone you know has recently lost a loved one, then make sure to give yourself enough time to grieve. Surround yourself with the people you love, because you are not alone. Everyone deals with grief differently, so hold on to the happy times, talk about it with your friends and family, and remember to cherish each and every day that you have. Thank you for watching.